whoever and wherever you are. This is Coach Lee, and we're working on speech anxiety. And I'm talking with Mike from New York. Say hello, Mike.
Hello.
Hello. And Mike is, let's see, a business analyst, and he began stuttering at age 5, and mainly in job interviews, groups on the phone, and so forth. He had therapy for some years. It was really a non-pedo, someone who didn't stutter was his therapist. And in high school, he even used a hearing device, which he found distracting. And let's see here. And his when we talked on May 9th, he reported, this being 16 June, he reported that his last bad incident was 2 to 3 months ago then. So we're now another month out from there. And he wrote a very nice Stop Stuttering Story, which we just posted, or I asked them to post it. Is it posted yet? Did I email you that it's posted?
No, I think you made a couple of revisions.
Okay, it isn't posted yet. See, when it's posted, I will send you a link to it.
Okay.
And, with some comments and so forth. And so that's in the process. And I think now what we really need to talk about is finishing the program. And finishing the program, once you've stopped having bad incidents, finishing the program becomes the first step. Next step is not thinking about words before you say them. And I don't think you do think about words before you say them in most conversations. Are there any conversations in which you think about your words before you say them?
I mean, recently, no, I would say,
Okay.
I mean, once in a while, like, I might feel like, that, like maybe if not that I'm thinking, but like if you're talking and then sometimes you get like, you feel like a little like like the word isn't gonna come, I'll just, um, I'll use a crutch, or then it won't even be a thing really.
The point we're getting at is not that we never have an errant thought about our speech. It's that we're not thinking about words. We're not hesitating, thinking about a word, fearing it, and either forcing it or maneuvering around it. And I don't think you're doing that at all, except possibly under extreme pressure. Maybe you are, maybe you're not on some words. And that really is my question. What do you consider to be a pressured conversation? Is there any, or you don't have any anymore?
Well, I would say the probably biggest one. I mean, I haven't had it because I haven't seen anything really come up. Would be a job interview, really, because
Okay.
at that point, in a job interview, and you're being judged. You know what I mean?
understand that. How about public speaking? How do you feel about talking to groups?
I mean, I definitely would be nervous. I mean,
Well, everybody, they say 75% of the people on the planet fear public speaking more than death. I don't believe that's true, but there are multiple surveys that have said that. I think, and my father, who was a great speaker, he's long gone, but he was an attorney, an excellent speaker. And I asked him one time, I said, Dad, do you get nervous before you try a case or give a speech for a group? And he said, Lee, if you're not nervous before you go on, you won't be any good. So everybody, the best speakers are a bit nervous before they go on. That's not the thing. It's, are we then hesitating, thinking words, some or many or any, fearing them, and either maneuvering around them or forcing them? If we're not doing those four things, I don't think you are talking to me or in your normal conversations. But if you're in a job interview or you're addressing a group of 100,000 people with TV cameras going and three mics in front of you, and they ask you to introduce yourself, and 10 people behind you on the platform who have names this long, you feel pressure. And the question is, when that situation occurs, I think you've already covered two bases, two parts. You've stopped stuttering, you've stopped appearing speech disabled, and you know in here and in here, no matter how the conversation goes, including a job interview, you're going to get through it without appearing to be speech disabled, that you can get through it without appearing speech disabled. You got to know that in here and be able to look in the mirror and say, that's true, or say it to me, or say it to anybody else. Can you do that?
I think so. I mean,
I think you can too. I'm not trying to make you second guess how you feel. That's the last thing I want to do. I'm just trying to point out to you what level we want you should be, before we say okay. So that's when you've reached that situation. That's step one, or first base. Step two is not thinking the words. You're using crutch 13, basically, no crutch at all. You just talk, which is what you just did to me. You just answered my question without thinking about anything you were going to say. And that's what fluency is. And so what's the step after that? Learning to love to speak under pressure. All right, that's another subject. Now, how do you do that? You consciously seek out pressured situations. You direct your affirmations at them, whatever they are. I love job interviews. I am my most fluent and eloquent in job interviews. I use crutch 13 and speak like a king in job interviews. I love to give speeches to large groups with mics and cameras. I love to do that. I use crutch 11 and speak like a king. What is that? Slowly, extreme pronunciation, passion. I say everything like I really mean it. I allow myself to be over the top, enthusiastic, passionate about what I have to say in a good way. No negative emotions. They just get everybody in trouble, especially me. Smile. Oh, yeah. I'm happy to be doing it. And I want to spread the joy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And very important, stop talking. Throw in stops. Why? It gives me a break. It gives the listener a break. And it's better speaking. It gives the listener a chance to think about what I said and remember it. And if I lose the speech floor, I don't care. I'll get it back. And when I do, the audience will eat from my hand. And they will. That's crutch 11. That's your new speech plan. That's what you do all the time. You practice it all the time. Why is that? So you can use it when you need it. Most. In job interviews, when you volunteer to be master of ceremonies at a company function, when you talk at the Parent Teachers Association or the community, neighborhood community organization, or anywhere else. You don't shy from speaking. You love to speak because audiences don't change anything. Nothing. Except they make you alert to be a better speaker, to be on your best behavior when you speak under pressure. That's the next step for you. And when you can look in the mirror and say, or say it to me, or say it to anybody else, I love to speak anywhere, anytime. And the more pressure there is, the better I will speak. That is what I recommend to you as your goal for right now. What do you say about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel this is the most consistent or fluent that I've been probably in my life, I would say, or at least I can remember.
Or you can say in your life, I hope you can say in your life, because you're getting older and smarter. You're learning things. You have more confidence now. If you run into a problem with a word, if you ever did, how many ways can you tell me if a problem word just cropped up or something? The thing about stuttering is, as you are painfully aware, there's no explaining when that impulse strikes.
None.
It's like a ghost. Suddenly
it's
it
nuts.
appears and it's haunting you.
Yeah.
And nobody knows why. Well,
it drove me nuts. I mean, it's just driven me nuts my whole life because even when I
that's
was
the whole game. That's the whole game. But you're retraining your mind to deal with it. Now, what's very important is if we were to hang up the Skype and you were to go out somewhere today and be in a situation that suddenly the ghost guy popped back up and you were trying to say some word that, your name or New York or metaphysics or some other word, and for some reason the same old fear popped up on that word. Tell me, Mike, how would you say that word? Give me some examples of how you would say the word. Let's say it's your name, Mike. Tell me how you would say it. What would you do to say it?
And if I felt like I couldn't say it,
there was panic. It was the old panic that just came back. No reason at all. It just came back. For the moment, how would you say, Mike? Or what would you do?
I would either take off the M and go and say Ike, or I being that I have especially that my last name is long, I would maybe spell out my name.
That's one or two. Any other ideas?
That would be my instant reaction. I mean, I'm trying to stop, breathe, like take a minute.
Yes, you'd stop talking and take a 2 count.
Take a 2.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. 1001, 1002. That's 2 seconds.
And that has worked for the most part. Now that would be my first reaction, like our first thing I would do. Now, if I did that and still felt like I was gonna do the I would then either spell it, or I would just take the M off
Okay, now
and just say like Ike, and then go
well,
Mike. You know.
I don't have any problem with that answer, but except the fact that it's only two ways, and there are a lot of other very good things you can do. You never forget that anytime you're confronted by a speech problem, a potential block, or something you're going to repeat that's going to make you make a grimace or make you go silent, when you're confronted by that, if you were ever confronted by that situation, I'm not so sure you will be, but if you are, you got it made, you got it covered in shade. But I don't like your answer enough because you don't have enough parts to it. Another thing, always remember, when you got any kind of a problem with a word, the problem is always only with one word, one syllable, one letter. Every other word, every other syllable, every other letter that you can say at that moment.
That's another one too. Like if someone says, "Oh, hey, I'm Lee," and then if I feel like the mic isn't gonna come out, I'll say, "Oh, hi, my name." You know what I mean? Like I'll try to.
All right, so if you put other words in front of it,
something in that I know, and then you start the flow. Like you know what I mean?
okay. So
Instead of just saying Mike, I'll say, "Oh, hi," or.
All right, that works too. What you just did is you gave me a different answer, and that's fine. You gave me crutch number 6. You rephrased or changed the thought, or you put by putting a bunch of stuff in front of the problem word, and that will work. That will work. But I'm going to suggest to you some other things. Crutch 4 says insert another single word or a sound. Well, easy words to insert before anything are like well, so, and. They're sort of conjunctive words. So if somebody says, "What's your name?" I go, "Well, Mike." Say that.
Well, Mike.
As long as you connect the L in well to the M in Mike, you're done, mate. You are done. You are done. You are done. Every time. And Mike, say that.
And Mike.
When you connect the D to the M and Mike, hum them together, and Mike, you're done. So Mike, say that. So Mike.
So Mike.
So I connect the O with the M. I'm done. I'm done. Now, sounds. That's saying another word. All you did is say another word. You picked a filler word. You didn't have to say my name is Mike or hi, it's nice to meet you. My name. You didn't have to do any of that. If you don't, it's just easier to say, well, Mike. So Mike and Mike, or you say I'm Mike. That's short and easy.
Yeah.
But the point is, anything, any single word, syllable, or sound you put in front of that problem word will break the block every single time it's broken. And when you hum it to the problem word, you will never stutter on it as long as you live. I don't care where you are or how much pressure you feel or how big the ghost is. You will never appear speech. You may make a mistake. I make mistakes. I force words sometimes or repeat them. So what? Nobody thinks I'm speech disabled. They haven't since I was 30 years old. I'm finished with it. I drink my own Kool-Aid. I love to speak, period. So any word that you put in front of the problem word and you're done. Same thing with a sound. Ah or mm. Mike, say that.
Mike.
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 The works best with M words, of course, but the is universal and easy.
Yeah, you could do it like quick, like, oh, what's your name? Mike.
Exactly. And as long as you connect the H in with the first letter of the problem word, you're done. You're done. You're done. And you can make the loud or soft. Mike. 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 I can make it so you can't. I can make it long, Mike, medium, Mike, short, Mike, a real short, Mike, just like that. We'll do it. We'll do it. Mike, that'll do it. No one will ever know I did it. And I can do it loud or soft, long or short, loud or soft. No, I'm in complete control. And one thing I'm sure of, Mike, in no event am I going to sound speech disabled. In no event are you going to sound speech disabled. In no event. You make mistakes. Fine. Forget them. Do not dwell on them. You're a human being. So what? Did you intend to hurt anybody? No. Did you hurt anybody? No. Does anybody care? No. Will they remember it? No. Forget about it, Mike. You're a human being. You're going to drop the ball once in a while. Just try your best, man, and know that your best is going to be good enough to achieve your reasonable goals for the rest of your life. No, you can't be elected president or prime minister or something, or be number one guy in the 100-meter race or something, but you can achieve your reasonable goals. You will. If you're a worker bee and a loving guy and you're doing your mind training, you're going to achieve your reasonable goals. That's another thing, Mike. Don't quit doing your daily mind training. And if you don't need it for speech, fine. Work on anger, work on anxiety, work on insomnia, depression, hatred, greed, anything that bothers you, headaches, skin rashes even. They're mental, largely. Work on them with your mind. I feel good. Every day my immune system gets better. Today I'll make a happy day. That's the biggest one. Oh yeah. You're going to do that for the rest of your natural life. And you know something, mate? You can train your brain to think what you want it to think. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you believe what Caprio said? We have free choice to accept or reject thoughts. Nothing compels us to think anything except our own desires. So use your mental switch and dictate your thoughts. Believe that you can improve, and you will. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
That's true. And that is our slogan. That's our motto. That's our daily declaration. And you want to make that declaration every time before you give yourself a mind training treatment. You want to make that declaration to yourself.
Now,
because your job is to program your thinking, Mike. Life is not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. And you can largely create, for the most part, you can create the Mike that you would like to be. You can't make yourself 7 feet tall or the fastest runner on the planet or something, but you can largely create the Mike that you want to be. Isn't that exciting?
yes.
But it takes daily mind training. You don't get any days off. It's like you eat every day, don't you? Well, you got to do this too, because you got to feed your mind. It's just as important or more so than eating.
I agree. I mean, the first few weeks, I had to remember to do it, if that makes sense. But now it's become a habit. I almost have to
Perfect.
You know what I mean? It's become a habit.
Perfect. Now, I can't remember. Have you been a guy who's been coming to SAM meetings? I'm struggling to remember.
I did, and then I don't know if you remember. My son plays baseball.
Oh.
So this is the tournament season, if you will.
Yeah, sure.
So
he's playing at that time.
Yeah. He's actually competing. I mean, it's obviously it's a long shot, but he's actually competing in the tournament that leads to the Little League World Series.
Yeah, I see. That's great. I coached kid baseball for 25 years.
So
I played in college. I love baseball.
Yeah.
And I love coaching it, and I love kids, and I had the best time doing it. So I fully understand that. But I would say this to you. I'm going to I recommend this to everyone who beats it. I do think that there are a couple of things you should put on your schedule, and one of them is training to be a speech coach. Even if you never wanted to coach, you don't have to coach. But if you go through the training program, you would have the option of coaching, and some it would be offered to you sometimes, either paid or not, and you can say yes or no. But the point is, going through the program, you will continue to hone your skills and become ever better, more comfortable. We want you to be. I want you to be not only comfortable speaking anywhere. I want you to be like a bull in the arena that's paw in the dirt, anxious to charge. I mean, I want you looking at speech everywhere the same way the bull looks at it when he's pawing the dirt. And you can do that. But how do you do that? By talking more. So the second recommendation is come to Sam as often as you can, even though you're out of it because and since that you're a PWSS, so are half the people who are coming there.
Oh yeah, I've attended a few and I've watched a bunch and no, it's
helpful.
Oh yeah, it's to see how fluent they are and talk about their story.
Incredible. It's incredible. And
Because
the other thing is what
in my experiences, a lot of times when I would go to like group speech therapy, the people there were like me and they were still stuttering. So it's nice to see. It's
well,
nice.
We have some still stuttering too.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying, but I never really saw someone like really beat it. Like you hear stories about celebrities and oh yeah, but I don't know. Like everyone's different. Like you know what I mean?
Exactly. And these are regular people, and they come from all walks of life, from all over the planet, every culture, every social and economic status you can imagine. We got them all. So coming to Sam will always be a good thing for you. And every time you come, you will help yourself in some ways because it'll be a refresher. And secondly, you'll help somebody else. Uh, Particularly if you ask a question or make a statement of any kind and participate and share yourself a little bit, you'll help somebody else too. So that's a really nice thing. That's what I'm doing right now with you. I'm helping you. And you come to a SAM meeting and you say something and you're helping somebody else. So that's a really nice thing. The other thing I would recommend to you is join Toastmasters because is Toastmaster for orators? No. It's for people in business who are nervous about speaking. They don't want to speak, so they're trying to get comfortable speaking. They're nervous. They don't stutter, but they're nervous, and they don't want to do it. So they come to Toastmasters to try and get over their nerves. And Toastmasters is a good thing because you don't have to be. My father was correct in that he was trying to arrest my anxiety over speaking, and that was a good thing. But I'm not nervous before I speak in front of a group. I'm excited. And I can't wait, Mike. I love it. And I'm not doing anything you can't do. I've just been doing it for a very long time. So I have the advantage of age over you and experience. You'll get it too. But the more, when you face your demons, anxiety of any kind, and deal with it, you'll grow. And they will dissipate. You can nail them. You do not have to have a lot of anxieties about anything. But you and I are working on speech. Fine. And so we're going to knock that one down. But the same methods you use, the same mind training, the same affirmations aimed at the specific problem, whatever it is. You got to talk, you got a big job interview. Okay, give yourself, do affirmations on that job interview for days or weeks in advance. I can't wait to talk to so-and-so. Now, incidentally, just in general, I I started or co-founded a lot of businesses in my life, and I've hired a lot of people, and I've interviewed a lot of people. And my favorite questions were things I wanted to know first was, why did you pick our company? Why do you want to work here? And you better have an answer that's impressive. You better have researched that company and know a lot about it and a lot of reasons why you would like to be there. And the second question I had for them is, why do you think that you will make a better employee for us than others who are applying? What makes you better than the rest? And it could simply be your passion for that field, for that company. It could simply be that. It could be your work ethic, your hours. It could be what anything you think you bring that's positive. I bring a positive attitude about everything. I want to work with other people. I like people. I don't cause problems. You could think of a lot of reasons why you would make a better employee. Those are just two suggestions for you to keep in the back of your mind if you decide that you want to apply to some company for a job interview somewhere else than where you're working. Anyway, so what am I saying? Mind training is for life, and it should address your biggest problems at the time. It should be no more than 10 affirmations. Always say them 20 times. Visualize yourself doing and being what you're saying. Secondly, try and put yourself under pressure in small doses and make it bigger until you can honestly look in the mirror and say, or say unto him, buddy, I love to speak. And the more pressure, the more important the event, and the more pressure there is, the better I will speak. And I know I will. Because if you really know Crutch 11, you will. So I'm asking you to learn Crutch 11 and use it in these situations. And I'm suggesting to you, come to Sam as much as you can, join Toastmasters and do it, find other opportunities, have fun with it, don't be a stranger. And I also said, do the coaching program. Now look, you're going to do what you want to do, and I'm on your team. I'm in favor of what you do, period. But I would like you to give a Sam talk. That's for sure. Have I asked you about that before?
No.
I didn't. Well, let me just say that I would like to. Not tomorrow or anything like that, but I would say I'm looking at my calendar. How about sometime in September? That's when we need somebody. September.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, because
Okay, how about September 9th? Okay, look, it's a 5 to 20 minute talk, your choice. You can talk from notes. You can simply read that wonderful success story. No one would even know you're reading it. Rehearse reading it a few times and read it. Because like I can put a document in front of me right now and read it, and you can't tell I'm reading. I'm reading right now. How many stutterers related books, blah, blah, blah. I'm reading off this sheet right here. You can't even see that I'm reading. So you could read your own success story. That's one way to do it. And then answer questions. Or speak from notes or write something totally different. Your success story is very good. That's all. I'm going to put you down for this date.
let me write it down.
And September 9th. It will be the 160th meeting of our SAM Club.
Ah, okay.
So that's a special day for us. And And that's really where we are. I don't have anything else. I wanted to get my view of where you are from you, and then I wanted to make some recommendations to you. I've done that, and I'm done. So is there anything else you'd want to talk about or whatever? Or shall I let you go? And look, I'm here if you want to, if in a week or a month or something you say, hey, I'd like this. Or you want to practice your Sam talk on me? Fine. Shoot me an email. We'll do it. I don't,
Okay.
whatever. I'm not hiding, or I got a lot of people to work with.
Oh no, I know. And I'm thank you, for taking your time out, to help
Well,
me.
I'm glad to do it, and I'm really happy for you, Mike. That's what keeps me going, is all the people who no longer are afraid of speaking. That's what
Yeah,
keeps
because
me going.
you've lived it, or you live, you know what I
That's
mean? Like
right.
you know, it's not, you know what I mean?
Uh,
It's different when you.
yeah,
I'm not saying speech therapists don't have good intentions of this, but if you never lived it, it's hard to fully grasp it, I feel like.
yeah. Is there anything you'd want to say at this point about um, me, my books, our program, WSSA, or anything else, good, bad, or indifferent? Is there anything you'd want to just throw out right now, spontaneously?
I think I mean, like I said, in my story, I found, your book, well, on when I was researching you, I found your book on Amazon. I tried the audio first, and it really made a ton of sense, like what you were saying. And then I decided then to order the book, and then I read the book, and then I got the short course, which to me, I think I definitely feel like is like a must, because it's like a cliff notes for the book, just so you can, you know what I mean? Because the book is a big book, and it's worth, it's definitely a great book to read it inside and out. But the short course is a nice like cliff note, just to, you know what I mean? Just so you could just kind of open it up real quick and look at certain things. Um, so yeah, I mean, and then the WSSA is
I
great
hope you'll
too.
stay in that program like for life,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
no,
And
it's
for
it's
and
it's nice even just to hear other people speak. It's kind of like a
exactly,
support
it's
group
always a
almost,
resource there for you. It's something you can tap. If I even if I'm retired or gone off the planet, it's hopefully it's still going to be there. And if enough people like you remain members, it will be there. I mean, they have costs, and I fund them, most of them. And if you ever discover oil in your backyard or become the beneficiary of a large estate or something, don't forget to make WSSA right at the top of your donation list, because your charity list, because it is one. It's an IRS approved charity, and any donations to it are deductible. And it needs money because it has costs, you
yeah.
know. So if you can help in that way, that would be much appreciated. I mean, one of the problems with stuttering and lots of other things in life is we're thinking too much about ourselves and not enough about other people. And the more we can think about other people and how we can help, suddenly that changes everything about ourselves, and the way we feel about ourselves, and our problems get smaller, you know, and we get able to deal with them better. I find the more I help other people, the better I feel about myself. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. No, it's true.
So I'm suggesting the same thing for you. But view WSSA and all it's the world's only community of ex-stutterers and those fast becoming ex-stutterers. View it as, your home away from home. It's a place where you can socialize and hang out, like SAM meetings. They're going to start webinars soon. I'm not going to run them. Some of the other coaches are going to run them. And that's great. I'm going to start a podcast myself about my books.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
but all of this stuff will be available through WSSA. Anything we do, may be outside WSSA too, may or may not, but it'll be in WSSA. So if you're a member, you'll always know what's going on.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I am.
They'll send you an email, and that's a great thing. And if you can, if you know any other stutterers, if you are involved in any stuttering communities online or Facebook or anything, if you can pass the word, you're helping other people. They don't believe they can stop. They don't believe anybody has a way to do it, and they think everybody charges thousands of dollars to talk about it, and they don't get anywhere. I had one guy spent $30,000 in therapy, and he stuttered pitifully.
Jeez.
Pitifully. He beat it within 2 months. That was 6 years ago. He's still fluent as anything. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. But if there's anything, is there anything else you want to say or ask before we check out?
I guess, when did you start like transitioning your affirmations from speech to like other stuff? Like,
I would say I was a slow study. I took about 3 years to stop stuttering and about 10 years to stop fearing.
oh,
And
wow.
how did I stop? I just kept talking under pressure. And finally, I got over it. But I didn't have a book from anybody. I didn't have any therapy from anybody. I had 6 sessions with a psychiatrist, and he said, I don't know if there's any cure for stuttering, but he said, I think if you learn self-hypnosis, that'll help a lot. So I became a self-hypnosis freak, and I used to do it 3 times a day, and I did it for years. And so the answer to your question is, it took me about 13 years before I got away from speech. What do I think in your case? I think you're within months of. I think you need to. The more time you spend at SAM, at Toastmasters, doing job interviews, and exposing yourself to anything else that's a potential problem, and getting comfortable there, I think you've got to learn to love to speak first. That's where you are, and all your effort should be in that direction. I think if taking coaching would help you, I don't think you have to. I'm not grading you at all. I don't know what's going on in your life. And I can't, I'm not there. I'm not trying to tell you. I'm just telling you what I would do from what I know. And so I would work on loving to speak. And when you love to speak, when you truly do, and you can say that to anybody, then and you don't care where it is. In fact, you like pressure. You enjoy it. A job interview is an opportunity. The symbol for crisis in Mandarin is the same as the symbol for opportunity. Opportunity equals crisis. Crisis equals opportunity. View job interviews and everything like that as an opportunity. That's what they are. And when you get there, then I say you're ready to start changing your affirmations to deal on your other anxieties and angers and problems, whatever they are.
Okay.
And they'll change. So, and that's it. And if you ever want to talk with me, if I can possibly do it, I'll do it. And otherwise, you can usually find me at SAM. Eventually, you'll find me, hopefully before the year's out, doing my own podcast. But I'm not, I'm not a spring chicken, so you're gonna be here a lot longer than I am. So that's where we are, mate. It's really been a pleasure working with you, and I put you down for September 9th. I'll send you a link to your posted story when it's up.
Okay, thank you.
And let me just see something, because wait a minute, that's the schedule. Hold on, let me just. I thought I. Okay, yeah. I was looking at my log of members to our speech hall of fame, and you're not in it yet. So so you're right. But as soon as you are, I'll send you an email and I'll send you a certificate. Do with it as you wish. If you print it, it'll look like a college diploma or something.
All right.
Not that, yeah, I have people who frame them and put them right there with their degrees and
Hey,
stuff.
hey, it's a big accomplishment. I mean, anybody that's has it, has that issue. To me, it's maybe even bigger accomplishment.
Exactly. Well, listen. So that's where we are. You'll be getting an email from me within a couple of weeks, probably, and I'll mention. And you got your date for your giving your Sam talk. You can practice it on me, and otherwise, you're up and running. And feel free to email me or whatever anytime you want. And I'll hope to see you at Sam when you're not busy with your baseball.
Yes, I definitely will. Lee. Thank you again.
Okay, mate. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.
All right, you too.
Take care now.